Hi there! In this video I'm going to tell you all about spacer beads. I'll give you a few tips for choosing the right ones and explain different ways you can use them to accomplish the designs you want in your jewelry making. Most of the time when we think of spacer beads, we think of metal beads, and that is really the most common. Spacer beads really are more of a function though than a metal or of style. A spacer bead does a couple of different things in a piece of jewelry. First of all, it helps frame and set off your focal beads, much like a picture frame does a nice picture or painting or photograph. It helps set it off, separate it from everything around it, and frame it, and just add to its beauty. And that's often what your spacer beads can do for your focal beads. Another nice thing that spacer beads do is they help extend your beads. If you have some really fancy and, let's face it, expensive beads, some spacer beads can help stretch them. And also by separating them, it lends each one more of the importance that it deserves. And you can find spacer beads in any finish, any style. They're really not limited to anything. I mean, we think of round spacer beads, but they don't have to be round. They could be butterflies or roses or daisies or other flowers. They could be wing-shaped like these ones, which are kind of interesting and would add some interesting movement to a piece of jewelry. They could be tubular like these short fat tubes, or graceful tapered corrugated tubes, or like these, they could be twisty tubes. Yeah, these are tubes. You would need to use some kind of like stringing wire, something stiff to use these, and these would add a lot of lightness to your jewelry because they would put so much space in between, but they would also add movement, like these wonderful gold-plated twisty tubes. And speaking of gold-plated, spacer beads come in any finish you want. All of these spacer beads, by the way, are from House of Gems, and there are lots more available. But most of these over here are base metal, but we have gold-plated, we have brass stamped filigree. These are gold-filled with a brushed finish. These are sterling silver with a stardust finish, and these are gold-filled with the stardust finish. Here we have some copper beads, which are kind of fun. They're just four round shapes that go together in a square to make a spacer, which is an interesting effect, especially if you stack them up. Then they kind of look like this, and they can work all on their own as a design element. These are rose gold. You have square beads, saucer shapes, and sterling silver. And of course they come in all sizes. These are big 12, 14 millimeter beads. And then we have down here a little 2 millimeter and 3 millimeter beads. So whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish in your jewelry design, whether it's adding color, movement, separating out your focal beads or stretching them, adding a particular look or feel or style, a careful choice of the right spacer beads can help you accomplish that. And don't forget, they don't have to be metal. One of my favorite spacers are crystals. These are just some crystal roundels, and they can space out. Sometimes they space out the spacers. So you can fill in spacers with crystals, and a clear crystal will add some lightness to your design, or you could use colored crystals to enhance your main focal beads. So have fun choosing spacer beads for your jewelry.